I have ranked armor and weapons, I have ranked break risks, I have ranked factions, I have ranked biomes, I have ranked many things in RimWorld, but today I am ranking all of the animals. There are really a lot of animals in RimWorld, so we're gonna have to go rapid fire on these ones, ranking them all, and I'm gonna be ranking them based on their general usefulness. Can they fight? Can they haul? Can they rescue? Can they provide a lot of meat or leather or good fur? Can they be a pack animal? Can they be useful to hunt or have as a herd animal? We're gonna be ranking all of that and more. So, let's begin. First on the list, we have alpaca. Alpaca is a fluffy boy. It will provide some wool for you, and it can also be a pack animal. Unfortunately, it cannot haul. We're gonna put it out here into B tier. Next, we have an alpha beaver. This bad boy is gonna eat all the trees on the map. It cannot haul. If you hunt it, you're gonna just get a little bit of meat, but you're at least not gonna have all of your trees eaten. F tier. Next, we have a bison. Similar to alpaca, it's gonna produce wool every so often, and it can also be a pack animal, cannot haul or anything like that, but if you hunt it, it's gonna give you a lot of meat and leather that you can eat. We're gonna put it up here into B tier. Next, we have a boomalope, a very unique animal right there. It's gonna produce chem fuel every day for you if you milk it. Just need to feed it. If you go hunt it, it's gonna go boom, so you better hunt in rain or be very careful how you do it. Even if you slaughter it as your animal, it's gonna explode on you, so maybe send it towards raiders first if you really want them gone. But these guys are very useful for producing chem fuel. We're gonna put them into A tier. Next, we have boom rat, a smaller cousin of a boomalope. Unfortunately, it does not provide chem fuel. It's just a glorified rat that explodes. So swarm tactics against raiders might be useful, but other than that, nothing really much. Let's put her into C tier. Next on the list, we have a capybara. It's gonna give you a bit of meat and a bit of leather if you hunt it, but nothing special. Of course, it's not gonna hunt you back if you hurt it. We're gonna put it out here into D tier. Next, we have a caribou. It's a hunting animal. It does provide you with a bit of milk if you actually tame it, but it's better if you just go around hunting it, and it's gonna give you some food that way. Next, we have one of the large birds. We have a cassowary. These guys are nasty mofos that will hurt you if you try to hunt them, so be very careful about that. They can be pretty dangerous as manhunters, but unfortunately, you can't really teach them to attack if you tame them. They do produce eggs, but otherwise not very useful. We're gonna put them into D tier. Next on the list, cats. Cats, S tier. Do you need to say anything else? Cats, they're cats, S tier. Next, we have chickens. They reproduce and grow really fast. They will produce a lot of eggs for you. You're gonna need to do some population control, otherwise you're gonna have 1,000 chicken in about a second. Very useful animal though. We're gonna put it up here into B tier. Next, we have chinchillas. They are cute rodents, but they are rodents nonetheless. They produce a little bit of meat, but they do have fur that has very high beauty, so if you want to tame them or hunt them for that, it could be pretty decent, but you're gonna need to hurt a lot of them. We're gonna put it out here into D tier. Next, we have cobras. Cobras make for great pets, don't they? They lay eggs actually, and they will hurt lots of tiny animals. If you live in a swamp, they will hurt lots of your tiny animals or your own people. They do have a 50% chance to attack you back if you attack it, so they are pretty nasty. But if you tame them, they have those toxic fangs that are gonna turn every animal into a rotten pile of crap. But still, very interesting type of animals out there with boom rats. We're gonna put them in the C tier. Next on the list, we have cougars. I am putting panthers into the same category because they are pretty much the same, just, you know, different colors, different biomes. These guys can be very useful if you tame them. They can attack for you, they can haul, they can rescue. They can do a decent amount of damage if they attack, but they are very squishy. But since they can be haulers as well that are not just easily killed out there, we're gonna definitely put them up here into A tier. Next, we have cows. Cows do not spawn in the wild, but they can be very decent for food production because if you buy them, they will produce you milk, and if you let them grow, you can also slaughter them for food and leather, so they can be pretty useful farm animal out there. We're gonna put them out here into B tier. Next, we have deer. They are a decent animal to hunt. They usually live in packs, so you're gonna have plenty to hunt, and of course, they don't fight fight back. They, if tamed, they don't really produce milk like caribous do, so they are a bit lower on the pecking order there, but C tier still. Next we have donkeys. Donkeys are great as pack animals. You can also ride them to increase the speed of your caravan, so if you go out there caravanneering, they will be one of your best friends, if not your best friend. Also easy to tame. We're gonna put them up here to A tier. Next we have dromedaries. Dromedaries share some similarities with donkeys. They are great pack animals as well, will increase the speed of your caravan when ridden, but also they produce milk if you tame them, or if you hunt them. They have a lot of very decent camel hide, which is great for heat insulation in very hot biomes. Otherwise they're easy to tame and have. These are a great animal and definitely deserve A tier as well. Next we have ducks. They are very similar to chicken, but they are hungrier. Apparently they eat a lot more. They still reproduce and grow eggs, produce eggs very fast. So we're gonna put them out here into high C tier. Next we have elephants, one of the best animals out there. They do have 50% chance to attack you if you try to hunt them, so you might be better off taming. But if you do hunt them, they will provide you with a lot of meat and leather, so you can survive on that. Otherwise, great pack animal. You can also ride it, and it can also haul and rescue, and you can have it as an attack animal that can deal quite a lot of damage and also soak a lot of damage. Elephants, clear S tier. Next we have elks. They are very similar to caribous. Huntable animals. If you really want to tame them, they will produce a bit of milk, but otherwise out here in the C tier. And then we have emus. Australians love them. They are quite similar to cassowaries. They will hunt you if you hunt them. They produce eggs if you tame them. Very, very dangerous, but you know, you can't teach them to attack, unfortunately, so we're gonna put them out here into D tier. Next, we have gazelles. They are great for hunting like deer. Apparently, if you tame them and farm them, they can be pretty decent farm animal. Otherwise, I would still keep it mostly as a huntable animal out here with the deer. Then we have goats. Goats produce milk and they are cute as goats. Need I say more? No, we're gonna put out here into the farm animals section into B tier. Next we have goose. They are very similar to chicken and ducks. They lay eggs. Need I say more? Probably not. C tier. Next we have guinea pigs. Guinea pigs are very cute. Your colonists will love to get nuzzled by them to get that extra mood buff, but otherwise they're little squishy things that if you want to hunt them, you're not gonna get much of them. Their fur provides good beauty, same as chinchillas, but otherwise, you know, they're still down here in D tier because they are just too squishy to have as pets. Everything wants to eat them. And if you want to hunt them, yeah. Next we have hares and snow hares. These bad boys can be a lifesaver on a ice sheet or sea ice biome, but otherwise they are not very useful to hunt. Basically a last resort animal. We're gonna put them down here into F tier. Next on the list is a horse. Horses are great pack animals. In fact, they give you the fastest speed boost for your caravans if you ride them. So just like you were riding a donkey or any of these dromedaries. These ones are great. We're gonna put them up here into A tier. Next we have huskies. Huskies are great doggos. They are awesome at hauling and rescuing people. They can also attack, but they are, you know, not the strongest. They're still stronger than Labrador retrievers, but otherwise they are good boys, good doggos, and you should have them in your colony and love them because they're great. S tier. Next we have ibexes, which are kind of a wild goat type of animals. Apparently they are very, very good if you tame them and farm them. They are a very efficient animal for that. Otherwise, you can also just hunt them and, you know, eat them that way. We're gonna put them up here into low A tier. Next, we have iguanas. Iguanas are lizards that are basically made to hunt in dry biomes where there is nothing else. You're gonna get a little bit of food, and that's gonna be about it. D tier. Then we have Labrador retrievers. As I mentioned before, they are very similar to huskies. They are just a bit more squishy, but they will be awesome doggos to haul stuff for you and, you know, do doggy style things so that you're gonna have more doggos that can haul more stuff for you. Gotta love them. S tier. Next, there's lynx on the list. These little cat-like things are gonna eat your chicken, and they will hunt you if you try to hunt them. Unfortunately, not a very useful animal. We're gonna put it down here into D tier. Next, we have mega scarabs. These little guys are gonna hunt you if you hunt them. You can tame them, but they are too small to really matter, and they produce, or when you butcher them, they will produce insect meat, which your colonists are not really gonna like. So these guys are straight down here into F tier. Next though, with mega spiders, these bad boys are your perfect pet spider if you're into that kind of thing. These guys are not easy to tame, but if you do manage to tame them, they can actually fight for you and are okay. They're actually pretty decent fighters. They can also haul and rescue you if you want to, but it's gonna be harder to keep them tamed than, let's say, dogs. Still, I think a B tier animal. Speaking of hard to tame animals, we have mega sloths. These guys can be pretty hard to tame, but you know, in inspirations and such, you can get them into your colony, and if you do, these guys are great attack animals. They can soak quite a lot of damage, and they will dish a lot of damage. Not only that, they also produce wool for you. So these bad boys are pretty dang great. We're gonna put them up here into A tier. Next, we have our cousins, monkeys. Unfortunately, they cannot haul. How is that possible? I do not know. But monkeys can't haul, which makes them pretty terrible. You can actually teach them to fight, but they do low damage and they're extremely squishy, so they're most likely just gonna die. And if you hunt them in the wild, they're not really gonna produce you or produce much food or leather. So monkeys, unfortunately, F tier. Next, we have muffalos. These guys are the iconic RimWorld animal. They are great in cold biomes where you can hunt them for their food and leather. That's gonna keep you warm and it's gonna keep you fed. They do have a small chance to attack, but you know, that's something you can usually overcome. They're also great pack animals and they produce wool. So what is there not to love with these iconic, beautiful beauties? They go up here into S tier. Next, we have ostriches. These are, once again, similar to cassowaries and emus, very nasty birds that are extremely fast. So if you hunt them and hurt them, they will attack you and they will most likely catch you and then hurt you back. They do lay eggs, but they take quite a lot of time to lay them. We're gonna put them down here into D tier amongst these other birds. Next, we have pigs. Look at how they butchered my boy. Pigs used to be amazing. They reproduce very fast and they were very smart, so that made them for great haulers. Now they are just a farm animal living in a pen, and you can have them to produce meat and butcher them. Poor pigs. We're gonna put them out here with the cows in B tier. Next, we have polar bears and grizzly bears. Those I have put in the same category because they're pretty much the same, just for the colors. These guys can be really tough to tame, and if there is not a lot of food on the map, they will hunt you down, and if they catch you, it's gonna go badly for you. But if you manage to tame these boys, they're gonna be your best friend. They can haul and rescue, and if you train them to attack, they will do a lot of damage and they will soak a lot of damage. So really, these guys, they protect, they defend, and most importantly, they're awesome. We're gonna put them up here into S tier. Next, we have raccoons. They are small and cute, but only really worth hunting where there is no other bigger prey that you can hunt. We're gonna put them into D tier. Next, we have rats. I'm pretty sure you used to be able to teach rats to attack, but nowadays they are just a last resort animal that will produce just a tiny amount of meat and leather for you if you hunt them. We're gonna put them down here into F tier. Next, we have red fox. Here are also the fennec foxes and polar foxes, which are similar but just different colors. These bad boys are very small. If you tame them, you can actually teach them to attack, but since they're pretty squishy, if you send them against raiders, they will most likely die, and if you know, just hunt them in the wild, they're not really gonna give you that much. So unfortunately, foxes are down here in the D tier. Next, we have rhinos. Rhinos are pretty awesome. There's a very great chance that they will attack you if you hunt them. Very great chance. But if you manage to hunt them and kill them, they will produce a lot of meat, and most importantly, they will produce a lot of very, very strong and tough leather that you can make, I don't know, dusters or something like that out of. So good for protection there. But if you manage to tame these bad boys, they can be very, very good if you teach them to attack, because they can do a lot of damage and they can soak really a lot of damage. So these guys are very great. We're gonna put them up here into A tier. Next we have sheep. They are similar to alpacas in their wool providing ways, but they are no pack animals. Still, they can be pretty useful as one of the farm animals, so they can be out here in the B tier being cute as sheep are. Next we have spellopedes. These guys are squishier mega spiders, but if you manage to actually tame them, they can actually haul and rescue for you, and they can also attack, but once again, they're squishy. They do have immunity to toxic fallout, same as the other spiders, so, you know, if you have a world with, let's say, permanent toxic fallout, they can be pretty useful there, but otherwise not the most amazing. I'm gonna put them out here into C tier just for their ability to haul for you. Next, we have squirrels. They are similar to rats. They produce a little amount of meat when you hunt them, but they are famous for their main hunting attempts when they just destroy a whole colony of somebody who is playing the game for the first time. You love to see it. Still, F tier animal. Now we get to Thrumbos. These are another very iconic animal for RimWorld, and it's probably one of the hardest to really rank because Thrumbos, if you manage to hunt them, they will provide you with a lot of meat and a lot of very valuable and strong and sturdy fur that you can use. If you somehow manage to tame them, they're really hard to tame, and they're really hard to keep them tamed and actually taught of what they need to do. But if you manage to do all of that, they can haul and rescue for you, but they can also be a great attack animal that will do a lot of damage, and they will also soak a lot of damage. But since they are really hard to tame and really hard to actually keep from going wild and keep to actually have their skills when tamed, I will put them up here into A tier, but I'm gonna put them into high A tier. Then we go to another good doggos. Those are the timber wolves or Arctic wolves. These guys are awesome. They can, of course, haul and rescue for you, and they can also be attack animals that are sturdier than the other doggos over here, which just makes them better. Good doggos, timber wolves, Arctic wolves, S tier. Next we have tortoises. These guys are sturdy little critters. They have that shell that reduces the damage they take, so they have a bit of protection that way, and they can sometimes even outlive predators that hunt them. They can also lay eggs for you, and apparently they're the most nutritionally efficient animal to have in your colony if you actually make a farm of tortoises. I don't know really about that, but we're gonna put them out here into B tier because they're just cool little animal. Next we have turkeys. They do lay eggs. They are a small animal that are easy to hunt, and they will produce some meat when that, but if you want to tame them, they will actually have eggs for you as well. We're gonna put them down here into C tier. Next we have wargs. Unlike other dogs, these guys cannot haul or rescue, which just makes them worse in my eyes, because haulers are always one of the most important things. If you don't need your colonists hauling and you can have animals hauling, it's always amazing. Then again, these guys, if tamed, they can be pretty tough to tame, will deal a lot of damage if you use them as attack animals. That being said, you do need meat or corpses to feed them. Now, usually if you're playing RimWorld, there will be plenty of corpses from raiders coming around. Just need to put them in the storage far away where your colonists don't see it. But still, since they do require a lot of meat and they can't haul and rescue, even just for fighting animals, I will put them into B tier up here. Next we have wild boars. These guys used to be the single greatest animal that you could have. They reproduce really fast and they could haul and rescue for you, which was amazing. Now they can't do anything like that. They're basically glorified pigs that are wild. They can be pretty sturdy, but you know, they're still wild, so you have to tame them, unlike the normal pigs. If you get a manhunter event of these guys, you know, they can do some damage, but otherwise nothing special. Pigs, I'm sorry, you have been reduced to C tier. Next we have yaks. These bad boys can be a pretty useful pack animal, so they can carry quite a decent amount of stuff, and they also produce milk. If you want to hunt them, they will give you quite a lot of beef, so they're also easy to hunt, they're easy to tame. Whatever you want to do with them, they're pretty good. These guys deserve to be up here in the A tier. Last and almost certainly the least least, we have Yorkshire Terriers. They might look cute and they can nuzzle you when you have them in the colony. But these little buggers, usually you get them in an event and there's like 10 of them showing up and they just bang and produce more and more. They are pretty much useless. Sure, they can nuzzle giving you mood buff, but otherwise, you can teach them to attack where they will proceed to die in one hit. Everything wants to eat them, everything will kill them in one hit. They're obnoxious and little, and they can't haul like other dogs. They're just worse. In real life, I love terriers. In RimWorld, they're abomination F tier. And there you go, there's the whole ranking. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had to go really fast because there is a lot of animals, but let me know, what do you agree or disagree on? What would you put into S tier? What would you put into F tier? And if you haven't seen my other rankings, there's a link up there, there's a link in the description, so go check it out, and thank you for watching.